Okay, now if you're like me, and I know I am, one of the most disappointing things is when you have a bowl of grapes and they're soft. I can't stand soft grapes. These are just barely still edible, but some of them are soft. When it takes time to find one that's decent, I say it's time to. I used to get really sad because I didn't want to eat them, but especially if the fruit flies show up, then you're really angry. Anyway, not anymore. I actually get excited now. I still eat them as much as I can when they're fresh and firm and perfect. But when they start going soft, where you're going to throw them out, or they're going to go moldy, or the fruit flies show up, do what I do and use your Excalibur food dehydrator or any dehydrator. And turn these sad grapes into beautiful raisins. And I am not kidding when I say beautiful raisins. So you get your tray, and there's just a couple things you want to do when you dehydrate grapes into raisins. And so you want to get either a fork or a knife, and basically because they're really designed not to let their moisture go. So you just run a knife across them. And what that does is it gives space for the juice to evaporate, or the water to evaporate. All the sugars stay in there. And these will be the best raisins you've ever had. Make some oatmeal raisin cookies with these, and they will be oatmeal raisin cookies you have never tried before. It puts, and I'll do a side-by-side comparison once these are done. It puts the sun-kissed or whatever, sun-made raisins, nature's candy, to shame. Those raisins are all rinky-dink, tiny things. And these are going to be almost as big as the raisins, or the grapes are. Just flat, if you can imagine. And they're way sweet. They're not grainy. It's just a beautiful thing. So anyway, you can just smash them if you get impatient, but that kind of makes them look ugly. I'll just do these for aesthetics for this video by slicing them. And also you can use a fork if you don't want to risk slicing your finger open. You just want to puncture them. I actually like this way better too. But this also gives you control over what kind of grapes you're turning into raisins. If you find a fuzzy one, you don't want to use a fuzzy one for obvious reasons. Unless you've got an infection and maybe, you need some penicillin. Anyway, so these are the green grapes. I've never done green grapes, but why not? So do this, put it on your food dehydrator. It takes quite a while. It takes about 12 hours, roughly, to do this. But if you don't puncture them, it's going to take forever. And what happens is, if you're dehydrating something that takes a really long time, what can happen is the edges will start to break down beyond the level of, it's almost like they burn. Just the chemical reaction, it breaks down so much. So you don't want to go for too long. That's why you want to get a good dehydrator instead of just a convection, or not a convection, but the ones without fans. I'm not a fan of the ones without fans. I lost one here. Hey, I'll throw a couple in here just to show you the comparison. If you don't do this, maybe I'm full of it. But we'll throw those in, and we should be able to spot them pretty easily. And if not, then I'm never going to do this again. But this is what I've noticed. I've just gotten into a habit of puncturing them. They do dry faster. Should be obvious. At least makes sense. Anyway, I'll keep doing this, and we will crossfade into me being done and turning on the dehydrator. Okay, we are done putting them on the tray. And so now the next step is to put them in the dehydrator. And we will put the lid on. Obviously, if you had more, you'd put more trays in, but just have that one there. So, lid is on. Then you come over here. It tells you fruits and fruit rolls go to 135 degrees Fahrenheit. Right there. And we will turn it on by plugging it in. It's the dumbest design, but it is a great dehydrator otherwise. And you can hear it working. So we will leave that for about 10 to 12 hours, and we will have some beautiful raisins when it's done. Okay, I lied. It actually took about 36 hours, not 12. I don't know what I was thinking. So go ahead and take these out, and I'll show you. Now, you can keep going, but this is pretty crisp here. They're warm, so they're still soft, but once they cool down, they'll kind of feel like normal raisins. And I'll let them cool down, and then I'll do a kind of a side-by-side comparison for you. But yeah, it took about 36 hours. Some people freeze their grapes so that it breaks the skins. I haven't tried that, but I'm going to try that next. But what I ended up doing halfway through is I took them all out because I realized that it was going to take longer. I don't know where I got 12 hours from, because now I remember that it took 24 hours. But anyway, I took them out and I smashed them with a plate just to break the skin some more. But that's the biggest thing. Some people boil them, but a lot of people slice them. So I just need to either do deeper cuts or puncture it all the way through on both sides. But I think smashing them, you're going to lose the juice if you do them when they're fresh. So you're going to lose the sugars. So anyway, there you have it. We'll let them cool, and then I will show you kind of their texture and size comparison. Okay, so here's a comparison. Obviously, huge size difference. These are sun-made raisins, and these here are the raisins that we made. And here's one that we didn't puncture. So as you can see, this one actually still has some time to go. But yeah, they're really good. They kind of have a crunchy, almost crunchy outside, and way sweeter, way more flavor. They're not grainy. These are really grainy in comparison. But anyway, your own homemade raisins. Thanks for watching.